Welcome to the Through It Podcast, conversations about surviving, healing, and growing. With your hosts, Holly Rogers and Paul Spurl. Anytime you have questions or comments about one of the episodes, email us anytime. Podcastthroughit@gmail.com. And now, Holly Rogers and Paul Spurl.
I think this is where we start recording. Is that where it is? We're here? All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome. Thanks very much for being here on the Through It Podcast. I'm Paul. That's Holly with our special guest, Aaron King. We're here to talk about, Holly, what are we here to talk about today?
Single ladies.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go now. You guys have a great show. No. This episode, will there be any male perspective?
You, if you want to jump in.
Oh, I understand. I just didn't know if I'm allowed to or not. Just two ladies or one guy. A lot of estrogen in the room. So,
here,
for sure.
Just in case.
There's a couple of moves you know how to do already.
I
So.
gotcha.
All right, all the normal stuff. Don't forget any questions about anything through it. Podcast through it at gmail.com. Aaron, hi.
Hi.
So you two go way back.
We do.
We do not go way back. So I'd love to know a little bit about you.
What do you want to know?
All right. First of all, since we're talking about single ladies, you are married and then single again. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. How long have you been divorced?
2019.
Okay, good.
I thought you were going to say 20 years. I was
like, wow, that's pretty good. So, I don't want to go. All right, so divorce, and there's two kids or teenagers, right?
Yes.
Okay, how old?
16 and almost 15.
You thought about that for a minute. It's
I did.
Okay. What,
Choose a lot.
I guess since we are getting into being single, and Holly's got a few questions, I guess give the quick version is give me a quick history. Why divorced? What happened?
Oh, gosh. Well, what didn't happen? This is the question. I finally I was done. I was done for a while. We were married almost 17 years. Okay. And I got married pretty young. I was in my early 20s. I wouldn't recommend that.
As did I. As did you, yeah.
Yeah, there were a lot of red flags throughout before getting married and then shortly after.
And you're young, you see red flags, you think, this is nothing.
Yeah.
We'll get married, we'll be all right. You know, which guys do that sometimes too.
Yeah.
All right. And so I guess I don't want to get too sad, but neglect, abuse, verbal, physical, ignoring. I mean, what would you think would have caused this marriage not to go? Not
physical abuse. I would say it was more mental, emotional.
Okay.
So definitely neglect. Didn't have a good relationship with his family. I didn't. Mm-hmm. And there were plenty of times that he had the opportunity to stick up for me when his family was terrible, specifically his sister. She's like straight from hell. And we could have a whole segment on that.
Sure.
But he had all these opportunities and he never did. He never stood up for me. And I was just done. You know, you don't ever go into marriage thinking about divorce. Mm-hmm. Probably.
Hopefully not.
And when you have younger kids, because my kids were, I think, 8 and 10 at the time, it was tough. It was a tough decision because you don't want to put them through all of that. But I had felt probably for the last 5 or 6 years that how much longer am I going to have to do this?
Yeah.
So I just had enough.
Okay.
And I was done.
And we have talked about this in the past, briefly and with episodes, that it takes that long sometimes. It really does, because a lot of people always think, I think it'll get better. Once we get over this little hump, it's going to be all right.
Yeah, and I tried different things. So we moved away from his family. We moved to a great house, great school district, and I thought we're going to be this is new. Mm-hmm. And we just moved. He was still the same person.
Okay.
There was still no sticking up for me. And again, looking back, had I noticed the red flags and really thought this is going to This is not going to be what I think it's going to be. Because I think when we're younger, we have this picture in our head of what a marriage is supposed to be. And I didn't have a good, I didn't have the best example growing up. My parents were married. They were married until my dad passed away. But they weren't in a good marriage either. And so I didn't have, I guess I didn't know what to expect other than what you're hoping it's going to be. And it wasn't.
Okay. And we have found that through our conversations, get it? Anyway, with our podcast here that, you're young and maybe you have rose-colored glasses, or maybe you think you can change, or maybe you think, we're just kids and we'll grow, whatever it might be. You end up finding out. So, okay, perfect. So you finally sat down with the kids. You finally sat down with him. We got to make a move. And this was 2019, you said?
Yes.
2019. Okay, perfect. Right before the pandemic. So when everyone's supposed to stay away from each other, you're alone, but that might be a good or a bad thing. So 2019, I guess. What happened next? Where did you move out? Did you go to the parents? What did you end up doing?
No, so I stayed. It was pretty quick. I mean, we did a dissolution. So dissolutions are a couple of months. We pretty much agreed to everything. Well, of course he agreed because I had to pay him out quite a bit of money.
Okay.
Still a little bitter on that. But we had agreed upon everything, and I just wanted it to be done. Hindsight, I shouldn't have agreed to everything because, again, I gave him a lot. And I, reduced the amount he was supposed to pay for child support. And I mean, I did a lot of things, but I just really wanted him out. So, I was able to keep the house. So I was happy for that.
Okay. And I'm not even getting through what we're supposed to be talking about today, but I kind of want to lay the foundation down because it's going to, how you're going to see your future dating and all that stuff. It helps me understand too. Were you, come 2019, you said you just wanted to be done. Could you, were you still, how do I say, were you still in love? Do you think? Hey,
no.
Maybe. Okay, so you were done. You knew. No, that's okay. That's what I want to know. Because a lot of people go back with a retap so many times, so they never quite get divorced.
Well, I did.
Okay, all right. So whether you,
I was waiting for that.
Okay, so it wasn't that you. Okay.
We threw him.
By the way, no, you did. But I don't know her as well as you do, so I don't know how I'm going to ask this. But when you did that, you were trying to rekindle the relationship, or you just wanted something comfortable and familiar?
No. So we were apart for about a year and a half. I had dated somebody in that time. Thought this person was everything. Yeah. And he turned out to be trash. And a little bit mental. I can't do mental health.
I understand, yeah.
So I exited that, and I jumped in too fast. That was something I would not recommend. I jumped into the next thing way too fast. And I was getting rid of the next thing. And now we are well into COVID. We're summer of 2020. So we've been apart about a year and a half. And he's turned into this entirely different person.
Short term turned into?
Oh, short term.
Okay.
Quite short term.
I got my hands slapped.
I didn't know it was short term.
Sure.
I was thinking, oh my gosh, he has taken all of these steps to be this person that I wanted him to be for 20 years. Because we were married 17, but we were together over 20 years. So, I mean, he's working out, he's getting healthy, he's looking better, very just wants to take me to dinner, just really concerned about my day, like all the things that he was not.
Yeah, sure.
Right? And I'm thinking, wow, he did a complete 180. Well, for a bit.
Okay.
For a bit.
Okay.
But I think we ended up going back into the same patterns. So now it was even worse with his family, who already was not a big fan of mine. Yeah. But now they wouldn't even like acknowledge me. So we'd be at one of my kids' sporting events or dance or something, and they're just like laser focused, moving along. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, say hello, be polite, just be fake polite.
Sure, yeah.
But no, they couldn't do that. And again, we went into those old patterns where He's not sticking up for me. He's like, I just want to take you there for dinner. Are you kidding? They can't even say hello to me, and you don't say anything about that. So, and still to this day, so we're, 6 years, 7 years later, and if I see them in public, you would think they have never met me in my entire life.
Which I could get away with.
So they're not invited to the graduation party. But, so again, yeah, so I think it's somewhat comfortable. We're in the middle of COVID. You can't really talk to anybody. He seems like he's an entirely different person. And you want to try to do it for the kids.
Sure.
So we tried, and that lasted maybe 2 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Maybe 2 years. Again, during that time, it always lasts much longer. I think that as women, Holly, wouldn't you agree? We hold on for a lot of hope.
Yes.
We do. And we're like, well, maybe if. And we start to second guess
our instincts, I think.
Yeah, maybe I'm making too much out of this.
Yeah.
Maybe maybe this is what I'm supposed to have. And I think 2022, I don't remember the exact date. It was like, this is definitely not what I want.
Okay. Well, good. We did some history. That's what I want. That's totally what I want to do.
We got your history.
So before we go further, I want to remind everybody I'm not quite on frame here because of our, awesome Spielberg-like technology. But since this is mostly talking about being single with being a female, I don't need to be in the shot. All right, don't need to be a soul. So before we get to some stories about dating, I guess.
Yes.
Could you tell me can you tell me how the family was with you? How did that affect your relationship?
So that's a huge red flag. And that's what I would say when you're going into dating.
Yes.
If the family is terrible, run.
Yes.
Quickly. Run quickly. Specifically, his sister she was just like dropped from Satan.
Okay. Cool.
The entire time we were together, it just progressively got worse. And I don't know if she's just a miserable person. I would say yes. If she was jealous, I would say yes.
Jealous because was she not in a relationship?
At first she was not.
Okay.
And then she had a few, and then she ended up settling. I think there was some jealousy because we had a child first, and she had been trying for a very long time.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so I think that there was some, and to be fair, we had waited a long time. I mean, we were together. My son wasn't born until 2009. We got married in 2002. So we were married for quite a bit of time, but it was like, hey, I'm getting older.
Were you trying, or were you just, if it happens, cool, it happens kind of thing?
No, we weren't really trying.
Okay.
I actually didn't really want children at the beginning.
I do remember that.
Yeah,
phase.
I wasn't really, and then once I turned 30, it was like, okay, do I really not, or do I want to get this done? Because
was it your feeling towards children, or was it, this guy's kind of a wackadoo, I may not want him to be the father?
Well, he wasn't a wackadoo. So,
and by the way, that's a clinical term, thank you.
So he wasn't really a wackadoo, but I do have to be honest on his qualities. Okay. There weren't many. But he was
But you like both of them.
He was tall.
Okay.
And he was good looking. He was tall, and he had nice eyes, and he was quiet. That's it. He was not brilliant.
So you wanted a tall, good-looking guy you can look at as long as he doesn't talk much.
Yes.
All right, perfect.
That's the
takers.
And truthfully, so when I was thinking about it, it was like, man, what if these kids are, have his intelligence? That would be bad. So,
okay.
So maybe not have kids, because what if they're dumb?
Sure. Yeah. I understand. Yeah. So was he employed? Did he have a job?
He does, yeah. He's been a hard worker, very blue collar.
So it sounds like his business may have hired him for a tax break. It sounds like okay, cool. All right. Well, let's. I guess so. We got a little bit of that story, and if you want to bring in anything else from the sister, that'd be great. But hey, listen, let's talk about. And I'm gonna kind of sign. I'm gonna kind of let you kind of. I'm gonna get off the off ramp, let you get on the on ramp. But give me. once you got through that rebound that maybe came too quick, and I'm talking about the relationship, once you got this, maybe I came in this too quick, maybe it was a little bit of a mess, when you started dating, any interesting fun stories from that? Anything that maybe you found that, I don't know, is that's funny, and or did you learn from?
Well, I learned not when you leave your ex, you don't go back to your ex.
Okay, sure.
So that was a hard learn to have. I think I'm still learning. Would you say you're still learning, Holly, at this point?
Yes, because this is how I feel. I married my high school sweetheart, and we were together for 23 years. So I didn't date a lot.
Right.
So I feel like a high school kid trying to kind of figure it out.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of hard lessons, because I'm thinking by the time we're mid to late 40s, 50s, people are mature.
The dating pool is full of piss.
And they don't. I was naive in thinking people wouldn't lie to me or mislead me.
Yes.
Because it's like, at this point, like, why do that? But that still happens at this age. So I still have a lot of learning to do.
Yeah, I don't think I have any really fun stories in the last couple of years. I have, with social media, I've got to block a lot of people.
Okay.
So,
what's your age range? Do you date them? In their 30s?
I wouldn't be opposed to 30s, but
Okay.
I'm more like 96, no dependents, and full of cash.
Oh, all right, Anna Nicole, that's perfect. Now,
Yeah.
I guess, are you currently in any sort of relationship?
No.
Okay, cool. All right. So you're out there, you're being able to block people, which is awesome. What's a surprise that maybe people who are going to become single that they need to know?
I mean, there's a really nice site on Facebook that's Are We Dating the Same Guy?
Oh.
And that's a really good site to check. I also think that you should do a background check every time, because in my experience with the gentleman that I briefly dated in between, had I known about his back history, never would we have gotten together. And police reports show a lot of things.
Can you get a police report on people? I don't know. Is that a thing?
You can find a lot of stuff just by going through county records.
Oh.
There's a lot of stuff that is public. And then, you want to make friends with the police, and then they'll help you as well.
Good advice.
Yeah. But do some checking. And if somebody tells you, oh, my ex-girlfriends were crazy, that's a red flag. And let me meet them.
Yeah,
and let's have a conversation.
Now, not totally impossible, but not always the be-all, end-all. Not always the exact excuse. There could be some crazies, because, guys
There could be.
But
all of them?
all of them?
That's the key.
All of them?
All of them.
So interesting, when I got rid of the guy before the last guy, I had reached out to his ex.
Oh.
Because there was just a lot of really weird red flags that were happening. And I was like, hey, can we have a conversation? And she was like, oh, yes, absolutely.
Oh.
And so she actually helped me get rid of him.
Oh, okay.
And had I not talked with her, I could have made a very fatal error.
No kidding.
Not death, but...
No. I was assuming it wasn't a Sopranos thing. I was just assuming that it was I was assuming that you were to break up in a way where it's...
it could cost me. It could cost me.
I'm afraid of hearing a story. He kept showing up in the back, the back window, and he was looking through. One of those always stalkers.
No, he wasn't a stalker. I mean, and that was a positive. So I really haven't had a stalker. I don't think. I mean, I've had a couple that failed to go away. but not knocking on my windows.
Okay,
weird.
all right, okay, cool. That's good.
That's promising.
That's promising.
Have you done the dating apps?
No, I am. So right now with my kids being in their terrible teen years, I am really focused on them finishing their high school. And so I got a couple years, and then I want to get back into it.
Okay.
But right now, I just don't. I guess if that mystery 96-year-old with no dependents comes along and is like, here's a pile of money, we could maybe make things work. But I'm not.
I could.
I'm not. And, at this point, could be a female. I don't even care. Right? I'm not even going to be that picky. But I'm just really trying to focus on my work and taking care of me, taking care of the kids. I don't want to bring somebody into their life at this point.
I get that wholeheartedly. Yeah. That's what I'm kind of at that point, just trying to get my daughter through college, get her off and adulting, and then at that point I can kind of focus on me and what my next goals are in life.
Yeah. So, I have a timeline, not quite. I'd like just to get him out of high school. About 3 years. And then I'm like, maybe I won't be too washed up.
Yeah.
And, but, he doesn't have to see at 96.
So I have a theory with the whole visual thing. The reason we need bifocals or we can't see is because as we get old, typically, the wrinkles and things come. So if we can't see our significant other close up, it's a good thing because you'll still be attracted to them.
Oh,
that's my.
Well, you got a good imagination, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody looks the same in the dark.
Yeah, for sure.
That's true. Oh my gosh, you're making me laugh.
Because in the dark, you can't tell that certain, outfits, like the stretch pants, and everybody should wear it. Not everybody should wear those at all. Not everybody.
Everybody looks like George Clooney in the dark.
Yeah, for sure.
Whoever.
Oh, okay. See, he's an older guy he's not even, he's a bit older, but we could make that work.
He's handsome. Oh, yeah.
Handsome.
Money.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're both handsome and money.
Setting reasonable goals for ourselves.
The dependents, though. Brad Pitt's got quite the dependents.
He does, but he can afford them.
True. True. Yeah.
So, with being single, what do you think people misunderstand as being a single female?
I think people think that we're just automatically unhappy.
Yes.
And I'm not unhappy.
Yes.
I'm way happier being single than I was married.
Yes.
I don't have to answer to anybody.
Yeah.
I don't have to make you dinner. I can do what I want.
Yes.
So I think that that's a misconception that people are like, oh, you're just going to be lonely. I don't need to have to have a man to be lonely, to not be lonely. I can have friends. I can have interests. I have hobbies.
I have 2 high school kids.
I have, right. And I'm not lonely. I am busy. I'm running around everywhere. I'm really focusing my life on them right now. So I think that that's a huge misconception. That we're single because there's something wrong, and I don't think that that's it. I think for me personally,
I think that's true too.
It's not that there's something wrong. I think that my standards are also higher.
Yes.
So if you're not that 96-year-old with that big bank account and no dependents, you really got to show up with a list of this. Like, I will not settle again.
Yes. I have learned that. That's kind of where I'm at. And if you don't bring peace with you, right. I need to have peace. Everybody has their things, but myself included. But if you're going to bring your chaos, your stress, your drama, I don't want it. I'm content. I have a lot of friends. I'm busy. I don't need the extra stress. I've had enough in my life.
Right.
And I just want joy, happiness and peace. And so far, that's been a challenge.
It has because, trying to find at this stage, we're middle-aged. What? We are. We're middle-aged. So it's like, I need to have somebody that I don't want to chop their head off. Like that's a goal. Like I don't want to, and I don't want to punch you in the face. Not that I'm a violent person, could be, but I need to not want to punch you in the face. If I want to punch you in the face when you speak, can't do this.
Yes.
I want to have some of the same interests. We don't have to have all the same interests, but I want to have some of the same interests. I can't pretend to like car racing. I can't pretend to think that golf is fun. It's not. I can't pretend to care about a lot of sports stuff. It's just not my interest. Right. But if you like it, cool. But let's see that you can do some things that I like too. And then you're not going to be mad that I'm doing them.
Right.
Because I think remember when we were dancing and our previous bosses, oh, you're spending all this time away. You're spending this money. You're spending this time away. I don't want to hear that.
Right.
I don't want to hear that. I'm trying to do something for me.
Yes.
Ideally somebody that likes to exercise with me.
Yes.
I'm a little competitive.
You mean at the gym?
She's just
I'm a little competitive. So little competitive. So I'm going to make fun of you if you can't keep up.
How much you're putting up with your wall sits and things?
I only did the 505 pounds one time. I only did that. And if you notice my car, the trunk can fit a body. Pretty nice sized body.
Well, this interview took a turn.
But yeah, I'd like to, ideally the person, I don't want to stab them. We have some of the same interests.
Yes.
They don't have a crazy family. If they have kids, the kids aren't psychotic.
Yes.
The basics.
Yes.
And they can support themselves.
That is also key.
And don't live in their parents' basement.
That is also important.
Or anywhere with their parents.
Yes. Yes. These are things that at middle age, we shouldn't have to use as, I think, deciding factors. But
all right, so you're saying, so if a guy lives in an apartment.
That's his own place.
That's his own place. Okay, okay. But if he's living with his parents, no go.
No go.
All right, so what if he comes on too strong? Is that kind of if he tries to kiss you on the first date? Is that okay? What do you think about that?
She loves hugs, everyone.
So I'm more of a general no touch person.
Okay,
for how long?
That makes it fun.
So we're gonna have to feel things out for a bit. I mean, I don't know that there's a specific day and time. You're gonna know, if I step back.
Okay. So don't get too up like this table, this hanging out with us right now, a little too close right now.
I prefer to be at least an arm's length.
Okay, perfect. That's all right. Well, you can cuddle with her because you guys go way back. But all right, so that's a no-go. How about crying after sex? If he starts crying right afterwards, is that a good or a bad thing?
That's weird.
Okay, that's weird. All right, just want to see where your boundaries were, that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's weird.
All right, guys, let's take a quick break. We're going to come back with part 2, so make sure you subscribe to the Through It podcast. We have a couple more questions. We want to close it out with Aaron here in our next episode or our next part 2 episode. So we'll be back with the Through It podcast in just a few. Check us out on the next one.